What is up, y'all? It is your girl, Lish Speaks, here on the final episode of season 1 of I'll Just Let Myself In with Lish Speaks. Y'all, give it up for me. Give it up. We made it. Y'all, I am so proud of myself, so proud of my team, so proud of just the work that we've put in to give you guys a quality show. And I'm going to take some time during this episode to go ahead and just kind of reminisce on what it took to get this done, to talk through things that I've learned, right? Things that I might do differently if you're an aspiring, show host or podcaster or content creator. And just kind of talk through maybe some of the things that are going on in my personal life, that were going on in my personal life during this time, and how I just stayed focused and got this done. So welcome, guys, to the final episode of season 1 of I'll Just Let Myself In. And so, we start our episodes off with this every time, and I had to come a little different for the final episode for my segment called What I'm Stepping In. And today, I usually do the sneakers, but today I'm actually stepping in some loafers. I'm stepping in these Prada satin loafers with crystals. I love these shoes because they remind me of Michael Jackson. I love these shoes because they make me feel like I can do anything. And I love them also because they're super comfortable. Loafers are in right now, and everybody's kind of doing the loafer thing. I got them on with my white Be Iconic socks from Iconic Ash, just to really give it the Michael Jackson vibe. I got on my Michael Jackson tee, because I'm just really feeling like invincible. You know what I'm saying? I'm really feeling proud of myself for doing something that I really wanted to do. And so that's what I'm stepping in today. If you like them, get you some. All right, so man, as I've stated, we are, in the final episode of the season, and we have a couple of different segments. Sometimes we do them, sometimes we don't, depending on our guests and what we got going on. But one of the segments that I love that we do is called In My Mind. And In My Mind is really just the idea of letting people into what's going through my mind. And I got to be honest with you guys. What's going through my mind right now is that I have really changed. I have become a person who keeps her promises to herself. There are areas of my life, obviously, that I'm working on and will continue to work on. But, as I was speaking with my management and talking with my husband and, kind of rounding out the end of 2023 of last year, we were talking about just my dreams, my goals, my aspirations. And one of the questions that came up was, okay, so when would you like to put this out? And just for context, I've had these kinds of conversations before about many things. Music, different conceptual ideas I've had, different content ideas I've had. All right, cool, that sounds great. When do you want to get started? When do you want to put it out? What's the deadline? And I've given plenty of deadlines. I've said I want this out by this time. I'm going to start this by that time. And I just haven't done it. And to know that I said, I want this product out, I want this passion of mine out into the world by the end of the first quarter, no later than the end of the first quarter. And to see that we've been able to do that, I am really moved because I kept a promise that I made to myself. Finally, I kept a promise that I made to myself. So what's in my mind is if you're a person like me, and I touched on this a little bit in the first episode, so it's kind of a full circle moment. If you're a person like me who will research yourself to death and watch every YouTube video on a topic and read every inspirational book and, we talked about in one of the episodes, just people who inspire me and binge on inspiration and all this stuff, but you have trouble actually doing the thing and seeing it through, I want to encourage you that you can do it because with this show, I did it. I proved to myself that I can actually see something that I really want through in the timeline that I said, and that I can really do the work, to persevere. A lot of people think that, this is easy for me because, Lish is outspoken and Lish is entertaining and whatever. This takes a lot of work. I put in hours researching my guests, researching, marketing, researching the demographic that I'm trying to reach, researching the best way to get this done, finding a team that could show up and consistently produce the best quality, transforming my home to make it not only cute in one corner to, make a podcast, but hospitable, because when you're creating anything, there's a crew. There are people who come. People need to be fed. People need places to sit. So making sure my home was, what I wanted it to be for this podcast, and for all the content I create. And then on top of that, creating content for myself and for my personal brand, as well as some things that I'm working on that you all hopefully will see by the time this is out. I am super proud of myself. I really do feel better. I think if you are, like I said, a person like me who struggles, find solace in knowing that once you do the thing you said you're going to do, you're going to trust yourself so much more. Like, one of the reasons why I feel so invincible is because, okay, so now I can do the other things. Like, I'm working on my fitness, and I've been working out. I want to say at this point when we're filming this, it's the beginning of March. And between January and February, I have gone to the gym over 30 times. Now, if you're a gym rat who goes to the gym every day, that might not seem like a lot to you. That is a lot to me, for me. And I want to up it. I have a specific number in mind of the amount of times I want to work out this year. Knowing that I can't always control the outcome, but I can control the input. And so things like this, showing up for this podcast, fuel me to show up for that, because I'm like, you can do it. You can keep a promise you made to yourself. You can say you're going to do something and do it. So when you say you're going to get up at 7 a.m. and go to the gym, you can do that too. And I've been seeing myself transform into a better woman from this podcast. So in my mind today is just an encouragement for you to know you can keep the promises that you make to yourself. So along this journey of, doing I'll Just Let Myself In, I've learned so much about myself, about my husband, about my friends, and just about life from my guests. One of my favorite guests was my first guest, Portia Love. She really had some incredible things to say just about pursuing your passion and going after things that you love.
But we really do have the green light. And I feel like a lot of people, I can definitely speak for creatives, because that's who we are. Mm-hmm. They want a seat at the table. Yeah. But it's build your own table. You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to compromise and get at other people's tables?
And I love Portia's just mindset on wanting to make sure that you bring yourself into the spaces that God has placed for you, because he put you there for a reason. There's no need for you to change who you are to go into these spaces. It really inspired me to remember that I can do this. And on top of that, Portia preaches to me every time that she sees me, to really go after. She's a great inspiration for me to go into the woman that God has called me to be. Her friendship and just the connection that we have is something that I really cherish. We don't take a ton of pictures and videos together. We probably do need to take more pictures together and stuff, but we have a real connection. And I'm grateful that she was my first guest. In some ways, she was my guinea pig, trying to figure this all out. But I really enjoyed that episode. And so from that, I just learned, really that I can be here, that I can be audacious, that I can be myself and step into this new season with confidence. Another thing I learned this season was that, when you are going into legendary rooms that might scare other people, it is so good to know that God is with you in those rooms and he put you in those rooms. My guest Tasia, she came through and just really dropped some gems on us about some of the cool rooms and big artists that she's been around. And what I loved about that episode was that she so humbly and graciously lived within those spaces.
Honestly, I really feel like God really blessed me with that as a first gig because, one, I never had to question who I was.
Yeah, as you guys heard, Tasia really just believes that God put her in those spaces. She doesn't even take credit for the spaces that she's been in. And for me, it really just reminds me of the scripture that talks about your gifts making room for you. Her episode really touched me in the sense that God sees what I'm doing. He sees the small beginnings. He sees the things that I've done in my past. And when he is ready and when he sees fit, he's going to move me and put me in the spaces that he knows that I'm ready to be in or belong in. And so I really learned a lot from Taja's episode and had a great time hearing her stories and laughing with her about them. Another guest that we had on the show that I learned a lot from was TJ Bennett from Soul Play. TJ really is a chill, laid-back guy, but has so much information and so much passion for helping the community. And one of the things that I took from the episode with TJ was just really understanding that if you don't have a mission and a purpose within your business, your calling, it will not create the community that you're looking for. You know, as I listened to TJ talk about the community he's created about Soul Play, I was really inspired.
I just want to inspire as many youth as I possibly can. Here in Atlanta, my hometown, wherever we go, whoever, if you're watching our video, this podcast, I just want to inspire as many youth that I possibly can. And again, to make sure that they believe it is possible.
So yeah, as TJ was saying, you know, they've created a community in that space because people understand that they're serious about their mission and that they really do love the people that they're serving. And for me, I've got to remember, my heart is naturally that way, but I got to remember as I'm doing this podcast and doing many of the other things I do, doing things I do in the church and all that stuff, that I have to always have in mind who I'm serving and who I'm showing up for, and that I have to operate in the mode of service and giving and not receiving. Another guest we have on the show who I love down is Liv from Just Living the Brand. And you know, Liv, she teaches me so many things in regular life. And so it was just really a treat for me to get her again in front of the camera, which again, not an easy thing to do. And so just sitting with her, learning and listening to her wisdom on how to create value with your content, how to create value with what you bring to the table, and just her passion for seeing women be treated fairly and paid fairly in her industry.
There's a difference between just being cool and flying sneakers, but also making sure that there's ROI. I'm really big on win-win situations, so it has to be a win on both sides. Yeah,
so as Liv said, you know, we have to make sure that when we're presenting something, we're showing people what they can get as a return on their investment in us. We're showing people that we can bring quality, but we're also showing people, again, that we've created community and that our community has value. You know, I really just appreciate her perspective on entrepreneurship. I appreciate how she really lives out the things that she talked about and how her commitment to excellence has shown up for every brand that she has, partnered with, including my own. And last but not least, my very favorite guest was my husband, Mr. Blaine, Glajumi Blaine. I love this man, something fierce. And it was really cool to be able to bring some of our inside conversations that we have about why we work so well and our marriage and our dating life and all that we went through. It was cool to be able to bring some of that on camera. You know, one of the things that I love that he shared was about, you know, our dynamic and what he needed in a woman.
I'm like that with most people, but the thing is, I don't get that same energy back. So I am myself, and with a lot of people, I feel judged or I feel like it's not enough. And that is sort of where I sort of make that, almost that mental call, like, this is not worth investing in. But with you, I immediately felt like we are so different, and she is still so invested in who I am as a person. And I think that unlocked things for me to be like, all right, like, I don't have to switch up for this person. I have no expectations to switch up or to be someone I'm not. And that just made me want to be around you and talk to you more.
And I appreciate it, you know, from what he shared about things we've learned about ourselves and things that we've learned about each other. Reminiscing about our first date was so much fun, and just really sitting down and talking about the courage to walk into love. You know, we both had to decide to walk into this relationship and to give to each other in this way. And we've only been married 6 months, and so we're still learning, still having fun, still getting a lot of input from the spiritual people around us who know us and love us. But it was super fun to be able to do an episode with him and to just celebrate the 200-year anniversary of the Brooklyn Museum, which is happening this year, and is the place that we met. And so that, by far, was probably my favorite episode to film. And, you know, this season was just incredible. I really got to learn about what it takes to create a production like this, you know, that is more than just a few cameras and a few lights, that it really takes being around the right people. You know, I want to really shout out my team who looked out for me, LD, Don, Portia, who did my hair and makeup for many of the episodes, most of the episodes, and my husband, who is the COO of our company, Blame Media, where we are really just working hard to bring light to the media industry. And I just really am so grateful for them all. This would not have been possible without my team. Guys, yes, I get up here, I sit, I laugh, I crack jokes, I smile, but without the cameras, the lights, the good energy, the prayers, the ideas, making sure that, you know, things are taken care of. One of the things I love about my team, and I'm saying their names, and we're going to put up their social medias, but y'all cannot have them. Y'all can borrow them. But one of the things I love about the team is that there's no ego. You know, everyone is willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. Whether that's going to be running to get somebody water, running to let somebody in, you know, changing up the schedule, figuring something out. It has been a complete pleasure to work with you all. And I'm so grateful. You know, when Don sent me the first 2 episodes, I cried. I'm not going to hold y'all. It overtook me because I was like, wow, 1, this looks incredible. But 2, he somehow captured my spirit through the camera, which I think I didn't expect. You know, LD capturing the incredible sound, making sure the audio is crisp, making sure I sound like myself and my guests sound great. Just truly, truly a treasure. You know, on the business side of things, you know, I definitely got to shout out Marcus, my manager, and Danielle Robinson, who is his wife, and also helped to creatively direct this season, you know, helping me with the figuring out which guests I wanted and the types of questions I wanted to ask them and the names for the segments and how we want to move along with that. I could not have gotten this done. Guys, I work a full-time job. And it is full-time. Like, you know what I mean? And so there's no way you can do this and that effectively and excellently, might I add, for both of them, without having a team. And so I want to peel back the curtain a little bit for some of you who are like, man, I would love to have a podcast, or I would love to create content, or I would love to do these things. You know, get a team. You don't have to have a team with the most expensive stuff or the best whatever, but get a team who believes in you and who is dedicated to what you're doing, because those people will show up for you. You know, it is not easy to create content. It is. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. You know what I mean? And you may think, oh, everyone is doing it. No, everyone is not doing it. You know, everyone is not creating quality content. And so if it is something that you want to do, you know, really pray for God to put the right people into your life. I would pray. I heard an author, Lovey Ajayi, say this one time, that she would pray for her help to find her. And I often pray that. God, let my helpers find me. Set me up in rooms with the people who you want in my life. Give me genuine connections to people who can see your hand on my life. Even if they can't exactly see the vision that you've given me, allow them to respect your anointing on me, your hand on me, so much so that they show up with excellence. And when I tell you, the people who are behind these microphones, cameras, and lights, show up in excellence. I could not be more grateful for you all. Last but not least, I gotta give honor to my husband. I just have to. We got married, and he said to me, "What's going on with you? What's going on with you? You seem off." And I said, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all know hormones, birth control, perimenopause. I didn't know what was going on. I just felt emotional all the time. And he said to me, "I think it's because you're not pursuing your dreams. You're not using your talents." And it was such a deep conversation because we actually didn't get into it on the podcast, so I'm glad I'm talking about it now. It was such a deep conversation because I really stepped back from pursuing certain things because I wanted to really focus on our relationship. I wanted to really focus on my life. I had spent the better part of my adult life focused on my career. And so when I meet this wonderful man, I'm like, listen, I got to slow down. I can't be ripping and running and not pouring into this relationship. And so I did that, and I'm grateful I did that. I would never change that for anything. Not only did I step back from career stuff, I stepped back from certain relationships, friendship, anything that was anything that didn't allow me to finally, give myself the time and attention that I needed to grow and be who I need to be. I kind of took a little bit of a step back from it. I realized that once we got married, we weren't planning a wedding. We weren't traveling back and forth long distance. We weren't ripping and running and trying to make our relationship grow and getting premarital counseling and all the things you do in a relationship. And so my life had settled back down a little bit, and I really did miss creating. I really did miss going to the studio and doing the things that I was doing. And even though I didn't have the words and the voice to say, I couldn't figure out what I was missing, my husband saw it in me. And as soon as he saw that, and he started talking about, well, what do you want to do? Do you feel like you want to put it out? What do you want to do? And I said, to be honest, I think I want to be like a talk show host. I think I want to be like Oprah or something. I want to do a podcast. These are my aspirations. I can see myself. And he just sprang full ahead in helping me to create this. We started a media company, and we are doing some cool things on the media side. But I come from a family who believes in me. I've shared about this before on different platforms, but my family literally, I'm a 30-something-year-old rapper, and my family was like, yep. They behind it. No one has ever said, go get a real job. You're a youth minister. Go get a real job. You're so talented. You could be working in corporate. You could do this, you could do that. They're always behind whatever. I always tell people I could want to juggle in the circus, and my whole family would show up at the circus with T-shirts on saying, go, Lish, go. That's the type of family I come from. But to have somebody not just put their support behind you, their words behind you, but to say, how can we do this in a way that is going to be legitimate, taken care of, the business will be right? I'm going to get behind you so that all you have to do is be creative. My husband literally looked at me and said, all you need to do is worry about creating. I will take care of the rest. And he sat down and helped me. We together, started our business and made sure all the paperwork was right and everything was taken care of. He's helped with every episode, every guest. This is while doing his very, very demanding job. He's probably going to want me to cut some of this out because he's a very humble man, but there's no way I would be doing this without his love, support, backing, his mind, his intelligence on how he goes about things, his organization skills, so many things that I've learned from him during this first season. I have to give honor to my husband, Mr. Blaine. You are a very, very good man. The best man I know. I love you. And so, yes, guys, this has been the first season of I'll Just Let Myself In with Lish Speaks. I am so grateful that you've joined. I'm grateful that you shared. I'm grateful for every review. I'm grateful for every clip you saw on social media that you helped to be spread. I'm grateful for every single person who has given us even 10 seconds of their time. It is not lost on me that you are oversaturated with content and media. And so for you to take the time to engage with me and engage with us, it floors me. I'm excited to start producing season 2 and to do even bigger and better things. And that last question that I ask everybody is in the grand scheme of things, what do you want your legacy to be? And I'll tweak it a little bit for what I want this show's legacy to be, because I answered mine in a different podcast. In the grand scheme of things, I want the legacy of this show to be one that birthed people who change the world. I want people who go on to change the world to be able to say, when someone asks them, what inspired you? How'd you get that idea? What made you, what gave you the audacity to go start that business? I want somebody to say, even if it's just one person to say, I don't know if you've ever heard of this show, I'll Just Let Myself In. It's with this girl named Lish Speaks. I was watching that show and this person said, and she said, and a guest said this thing, and it sparked a change in my mindset and helped me to go further. That is what I want the legacy of this show to be, and that's the lens with which we shoot this show. Season 2 is going to be even better than season 1. It's going to be greater. It's going to be larger. I'm claiming that in Jesus' name. And all we need is for you to come back and hang out with us again next season. Guys, this has been the final episode of season 1 of I'll Just Let Myself In. And y'all already know, like, subscribe, follow us. Go ahead and use this time off between season 1 and season 2 to send these episodes to your friends, circulate these episodes, and show them what you loved about this podcast. We would love a review wherever you watch your podcast. We want to know how you're feeling about it. And we just thank you for being a part of this community. This community is growing, and season 2 is going to be better than ever. Make sure you come back and join us. I just let myself in. Yeah, I might have a great day.